All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Dorohedoro, Season 1, Episode 12.
It's the finale.
Yeah.
Here we go, guys.
And,
Nikaido and Kaiman are gonna have to fight.
Nikaido and Kaiman. No matter what happens, this is...
Why we gotta be like this?
Why? This is the worst timeline. This is just, no.
Yeah.
It ends, it's all bad. It's all bad.
Yeah. But hey, they had a good pie time.
They did.
The rest of everyone else.
They did indeed. And N just was like, you know what?
Nah, you win.
Chanterelle.
Samba.
You win.
Automatic winner, yes.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye, Asuka. Yeah.
Be gone.
Yes.
But yes, that was a very fun episode, very lighthearted considering a lot of the other stuff that was happening. So I would not be surprised if this one kind of compensated for that.
Diverted things in another direction. Yeah. But given
Another
that this is
emotional
Dorohedoro, we're going to have some wild, wacky craziness.
Yeah,
as well,
chaos
amidst
and
all of that as well.
All of the above.
But how will they choose to close off season 1? How will they choose to close it off? Yeah. Like
yeah.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. Wait.
So this is how Risu and Aikawa met?
Yeah, this is Risu's buddy.
Yeah. Whoa!
Holy crap! Dang.
His fighting style seems very similar to Kaiman's. Maybe it's just because he uses a knife, but...
Whoa!
Okay.
Dude!
Huh.
Whoa! I have so many questions.
Yeah, me too.
Holy crap.
Okay. Alright, cool. So that was present day. They had already met back up. Awesome.
Dude, my brain is just tripping out. Like the amount of like crazy possibilities that I feel like are just happening like constantly behind the scenes, you know?
Yeah. This show needs a second
so
season.
fun.
Like it
needs it so badly.
It needs it.
The fork's still in his helmet. No. Oh. Jeez.
Yeah, she's fighting serious, Kaiman.
Yeah.
The boobs.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Jeez. Oh.
Alright. She doesn't have the mask on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll do anything, but...
No, probably not.
No.
Oh, just Satan. Okay,
Alright.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ow! Oh!
That didn't hit him, did it? Oh, it did.
Oh my god. Oh!
That's not thematic at all.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
Whoa. So he's on the phone from the hallway again. Yeah. Oh, buddy. Oh, sarcophagus demons.
Wait.
The headache.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Whoa. mirror. That's
terrifying.
That's so good. No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Really? It wasn't Risu.
Oh my god!
Wait.
Nikaido.
まだ死んではいない。
悪魔。
まさに死の息というやつだ。
ねえねえ、どうやって殺すの？首
What is going on?
これは
No way.
契約書だ。
Wait.
Whoa.
It works like that?
Whoa.
安心しろ。
Whoa.
取り出した。
Okay.
Okay.
It's gotta be breaking some kind of devil rule.
誰か別のまだいるはずだ。この闇の中に。
Oh god.
どこだ二階堂。
Holy crap, dude. Oh. Yeah.
これを俺の体内に入れれば縁のパートナーに
Yeah, maybe. Oh, no, it wouldn't. Okay.
力を使って縁と君の契約書を交換しなければ君が死ぬか血だるまが解除するか。
Oh, you're still bound?
次のブルーナイトで契約を破棄しない限り契約書はもう君の体の一部と化す。
Oh, shit. So
もう
that's
縁に会えば再び君の体内に契約書が現れる。
that's not enough then.
Alright.
縁の手が届かないほど性のないやつだ。
Alright.
All right. Well,
カイマンもあの男も痛くてよく見えなかったけど、カイマンじゃなかった。
the certainty that it's not Kaiman, though.
Yeah.
俺どうなったんだ？俺は何を急いでいるんだ？
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
わかったな。誰がいるんだ？
Holy crap.
You're kidding.
What is happening?
ここは魔法
Oh
被
my
害者専用の
god.
病院だ。
Oh my god.
この人があんたをここまで運んでくれたんだぞ。
Oh.
こいつの名前がまだ決まらねえんだ。俺の考えた名前が気に入らねえってよ。
なんて名前？
ウロコン。
今日はお見舞いにうちの餃子を持ってきたんだ。私も君の名前を考えてみたんだけど、
ウロコンよりマシなら何でもいいさ。
見つけたんだ。
Hey.
トカゲってやつでさ。
Nice,
Yeah.
だ
nice.
からカイマンってのはどうかな。
なんかどっか懐かしい気がする。
Oh my god, my brain is hurting right now,
Yeah.
dude.
I have so many questions. Wait.
お
Really?
前は違う。
リス。
血の中のやつになんて言われた。
This is how he gets that confirmation of
本当か？
口の中の男はリスだったんだ。
okay. All right.
Yep. Cool.
のでかい城は前からずっと
Oh,
気になってたんだ
they're having dinner in prison
俺
basically.
の立場はどうでもいいのが。
明日帰るよ
Okay.
悪いな泣くんじゃねえぞ
つなら今ベリスという町にいる。
My god.
Oh my gosh.
God.
てめえとはなんだ。地獄へ落とされたいの。
悪魔はさ、すごい力があって何でも知ってるんだよ。
いるのは分かってる。
Oh.
Oh god.
こんな嘘つきと。
Oh no. Oh, come on.
二階堂。
どうも。
どうした？一体何があったんだ？
Wait. So now it's
教会壊しちゃった。
So she's pretending to be under his control.
but now that she
だようだな。
like she met him again, it's gonna regrow again.
Ugh.
私はずっと君に何かしてあげた。
Oh. Okay, no, so it did work.
二階堂がいないと知ったら縁はすぐに
Right.
でも
So
探し
then
に行くよ。
それ
who?
なら考えがある。
You'll get your wish.
No way.
よりにもよってあの女に。
But now you get to be
ざっけんな。勝手に俺を二階堂なんかにしやがって。どういうつもりだってめ
てめえとはなんだ地獄へ落と
The
すぞ
tongue.
罰当たりなことを無視してごめんなさい。
二階堂との仲を引き
Oh
継ぐことが
wow,
できるじゃん
wow! I love
俺
it.
演技力には自信あるんだ。
Miscommunication
考
humor.
えていたか分かっている
Yep.
が初めからそんな男などいなかったのではないか考えすぎか
Oh. Ah.
Ah! Can't just do this to us.
分かったのだろうか
Oh god.
It's a thread, and we're pulling and pulling, but it's like, where does it lead?
Yep.
ここで身を潜めていよう。
This feels similar to the area, like in the
It's fine.
in the hospital.
なんでホールで人間のふりなんかしてやがったんだ
Yeah.
It's a good talk.
私の魔法のせいで友達を亡くしてしまったから、だからもう使わない。
Okay.
人間になりたかった。前となら本当の友達になれると思ったから。
Okay. Okay.
俺は昔の記憶がないんだぞ
やっぱり私が魔法使いじゃダメか。
お前が魔法を使わないって約束できればだが
約束する。
Oh,
Pinky promise,
pinky
yeah.
promise. Oh. Instinctively hold it out.
Yep.
俺の
Uh-huh. All right.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Oh my god. Yes.
All right.
All right. That
love
was
it.
so good.
And that's so cool because
Oh, okay, okay.
that is Dorohedoro. I love that the first line of it was, "My name is Kaiman." Like that's who I am.
Whoa,
Season 2 stuff.
whoa. Oh.
Awesome. That was great.
Fantastic stuff.
Okay. No, cutting it off there.
Oh, look at
That's
this art!
that is some
Oh,
amazing
that's so
art right
good!
there. Wow.
Please, please make a second season.
We need a second season.
I need it so bad.
Okay. Okay.
Well, all right, guys. Well,
All
my
right.
brain hurts and everything, and
Yeah.
now we got to go over this episode because we got a whole lot more questions here. First things first. We're getting into Risu's past.
We're
We're also
Aikawa.
we're also showing a bit of his perspective of where he is at right now.
Yes, that was the thing that really threw me for a loop is that I thought that it was something where it's this is still in the past, but no, the whole bus scene, that's the present.
Yeah.
That's the present.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
okay. All
So,
right.
First things first, Aikawa, huge part
Huge
of the
mystery
mystery that
box.
we will be getting into here. Kaiman and Nikaido have their fight.
Yeah.
It has multiple stages to it, and there's multiple angles on who is fighting who,
Right.
and also who's
The
in
emotions
control
behind it.
and the emotions behind it. Yes,
Yep.
but the episode ends with them basically coming together and realizing that they're friends and they're going to stick by each other no matter what. No matter who Kaiman ends up being,
That's
no
right.
matter the fact that Nikaido is a sorcerer, hey, you know what? We'll find a way to make this work.
Exactly.
Partners, we don't need
Yeah.
no devil contract here.
Pinky promise.
Yeah,
That's
pinky
our
promise.
contract. Yeah.
Love it. You love it, guys. This is perfect.
The fact that these two bakas were able to finally have their reconciliatory conversation, it makes me really happy. And that is a great place to end the season. Even
is.
though all the mysteries and stuff are just keep getting torn
piling
open
on,
and
yeah.
get piling up. That is a great place to end it.
Right.
So
N believes he now has Nikaido as his partner currently.
oh my god. The
The fact that the other guy got to basically have the opportunity to be
yep.
N's
I
partner.
don't think we even put his name
No,
down
it's fine,
we
it's
were
fine.
like, he's obviously not important. But this just builds even more the potential wacky, crazy humor that can happen because
yes. Oh,
okay,
yes.
we got the cool mechanic aspect of if Nikaido ever sees N again, the contract will start to reform and things like that, and she'll be under his control.
Yeah.
That's bad. We don't want
Right.
that to happen, right? At the same time, N thinks Nikaido is with him. The person who is forced to be Nikaido hates Nikaido.
But
really
also
hates Nikaido.
really wants to be En's partner.
Exactly.
But-
So, complicated situation there.
Oh, yes.
And
Oh, yes.
miscommunication comedy.
Love it.
Awesome.
All about it.
Like, Dorohedoro has already been amazing with just weaving in all these really zany elements all at once and just having them be hilarious.
Yeah.
So this is just more fuel to the fire. Way to go. I love
Awesome.
it. I love
Yeah.
it.
But here's the part where things get crazy. Kaiman is not fully present, pun intended, with what's going on here. He's having flashbacks. He's having waking nightmares. He's having
Potential
moments where...
Lapses of memory in the present.
And also potentially having someone who is maybe...
direct control.
Well, maybe even someone of his past coming in and protecting him.
Sure. Yeah.
So, okay. So here's where I think we can just kind of take the episode as a whole and just say we set up basically another stage of the story in that it is Nikaido and Kaiman being aware and in communication with each other regarding where they're at.
Yes.
And thus they can then tackle the mystery together.
Power of Nakama.
Right, without holding back a lot from each other.
Right.
Because the big reveal for Kaiman was that Risu was the one that's been inside him this whole time.
Yeah.
That is
He didn't
something
know
that we as the audience have known for a long time. However, Kaiman being the one who is the protagonist getting the drip feed of answers, but the audience is like 8 steps ahead of him, thus having more confusion than even Kaiman does because some of these things are like, wait, how does this connect with that? And
that is Dorohedoro.
that is Dorohedoro.
But there are a few things.
There are a few things that they're pointing at really emphatically here that are important to bring
we
up.
spent a long time looking at this episode, probably the most we've ever done for a reaction, because we wanted to be very sure on some things. We even tried looking up voice actors of the season, just be like, hold on. But certain characters didn't have their voices credited. So, But I think the biggest one that we need to talk about is Aikawa.
It's Aikawa.
This
is most definitely like Kaiman from the past.
Something. Because we know that that at the very least, Risu in some way, shape, or form, whether it's part of his body or whatever, is Kaiman because of the whole thinking about them when they made the turkey duplicate that then found the thing.
Right.
Awesome.
Yes.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be just Kaiman because it could be a different head. Now, one of the other things is that, so the visual parallels between Aikawa and Kaiman were like too damn high, right? Whether you're talking about the mask, never showing the face, the fact that he fights with a knife, his voice is very similar, the fact that when they were talking on the wherever it was or whatever, he had spikes on his hat. Like so many things.
Yeah, this show does a bunch of things really well in the visual storytelling department, and one of those is that they recreate the essence of specific things in seemingly innocuous story plots, so that we as the audience go, oh, that's something that's possible. The idea of someone walking around with a turkey head while Kaiman has a lizard head is just extra thing to be like, you can't trust who someone is based on their head. That doesn't mean anything necessarily.
We even had it in the OP with the gyoza head.
Oh, so, exactly.
Then there's the whole thing. Well, okay, there's also the whole thing with the little flashback that we got.
Yes.
In the episode.
And there is a very clear distinction that the show makes when it is a flashback memory kind of regaining versus an actual nightmare with a bunch of hallucinations and stuff.
This was not the nightmare. This was
a memory.
This was a memory.
Yep.
So that's kind of terrifying. There was some big, potentially demon-looking
floating
thing with a bunch of spikes coming after it. Like this. Okay, Dorohedoro. This cannot be said enough. Its aesthetic is dope as shit, right? Like it is awesome.
Oh yeah.
So I am very excited and terrified to find out whatever that thing was. But then
it's
there's
probably the boss of the Cross Eyes.
probably
'Cause one of the things that kind of makes a lot of sense with what the Cross Eyes really are is that they're a group of people that are trying to figure out ways in order to give people smoke who don't have any. That seems like something that would have to work with the demons.
Well, and one of the other things that was established about them is that they were worshiping devils. Now, a lot
of course
people,
they are.
A lot of people
course they
worship
are.
devils here. but-
Everyone somewhat does.
Yeah.
But it's more of a thing of, do they like,
Which
oh,
ones?
hail Satan, or are they like, yeah, hail the whatever, you know? Like, is it a real thing for them, or is it a,
Right.
yeah, sure, and yeah, the devils, whatever.
Another thing we got in the whole memory relapse bit was the, killing a partner again, a companion.
Yeah.
With Risu's backstory, one of the things that seemed real sketch is that Aikawa seemed to have some awareness that
Of
this
what
was
was
going
going on.
to go, that it was going to go badly, and yet they were wanting to look out for Risu, or at the very least keep
Yeah.
up the pretense that they were looking out for Risu.
Right.
Could be either one, who knows? But also there's the whole thing that Kaiman has the point where he's like, who's there? He looks and it's a mirror. Like, come on. There's but then there's the whole thing of Risu being like, I have never been able to pump out even a millimeter of smoke, and it's like, wait, hold on, is this actually that his thing was to be immune to magic and that's why he couldn't use it, because it was just this passive thing of, whatever.
Right. So Risu is being set up by the Cross Eyes as like oh, wait a minute. Actually, you have a very unique set of magic. In the same way that N has been looking for a partner that controls time, maybe someone in the organization has been looking for someone who's immune to magic.
Yep.
And thus could maybe be, kind of given a little bit of a host kind of packaging partnership thing with that whole little bit in the nightmare of the white devil being brought out.
Yeah,
The
so-
same thing that's in the eyeball. Like from
from back in episode
forever
4
ago.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And by the way, we went back to that episode and it's like, inside everyone is a tumor thing that represents the
Sorcerers,
life
though.
In sorcerers that
I
represents,
believe it was sorcerers.
right?
yeah.
Which again, if that's a thing for Kaiman, then it's or hold on, no, we know that Kaiman is a sorcerer. He just can't use magic, right? Because
Right.
he's from Risu. So if his magic is the thing and he's immune to magic, cool. But then also the idea that the devil thing was pulled out and it was white again, because the devil originally came out. It was in the spoon.
the sorcerer's head specifically. Yeah, specifically sorcerers.
Right.
Yeah. I just went back to the episode and checked to make sure that's the case. Yeah.
And so then they take the white little devil tumor looking thing, do a thing. It gains color, comes to life, goes inside the person. They come to life.
What do you know?
Okay. In this little bit here, we have the thing being pulled out. It's white. It's dead, right? So, okay, that's probably Kaiman. So at some point, Kaiman was dead, and they pulled it.
Yes.
Or Risu more specifically.
Yes, and that's the thing. We know that Risu died. That was in the first time we met Aikawa. Aikawa was like, don't be careful.
Don't go there, right?
That's because it does lead to his death.
Right. When they ended up bringing Risu back in their crazy way, it was because they went and they found his desiccated head.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a thing. But then, what was it? What was the other thing? So there's all of that, which could potentially connotate to if there was any kind of soul transfer, that maybe if you took one person's devil thing and then swapped it, would that make them be a different person? Who knows?
Yep.
But also, in the fact that the cross eyed people were doing that, it's like, okay, but Aikawa specifically, they never showed his face, but you can't hide everything.
Yeah.
And
There were a couple things that we noticed.
They showed a side shot, and
profile.
Profile shot. He's got very distinctive sideburns.
And the person that stabbed Nikaido in the back and carved
Had
up there
the
had the same sideburns.
And it seemed like a similar
Build.
complexion. Well, build too.
Building complexion, yeah.
So
his little headache and then just vanishing
the
out
headaches
of
for each of them,
existence.
it's like, what? And so I don't know how all of this connects, but I have ideas. And my idea is that it is Aikawa's head and Risu's body, and that is Kaiman, right?
Yeah.
And that's
But the issue is that can't be all of it, though. Because then why are the two of them so closely linked where Aikawa seems to be his guardian.
Oh yeah, and if it
Because
was
that
Aikawa's
means-
head, then how does he have a head now? Like there would need to be an explanation
Well,
for that.
no. Time.
Okay,
Things
sure.
can be wonky with
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
The way I'm explaining it all in my head right now is that if you do any kind of mucking with time, the person who's presently interacting with someone that has the special knowledge just could be from the future.
Yes.
Just
Also,
at all. Yeah.
let's also bring up this fact. We got Aikawa wasn't the only character that was introduced this episode. Even though Aikawa was technically introduced earlier, I would consider this to be his introduction because we didn't get much time with him at all, right?
Yeah,
It was just,
he
we
was-
know he exists,
He was
right?
connected to the mystery of
Yeah.
what Risu, Kaiman, all that.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
And while we didn't get a character introduction in that sense, we did get a character introduction in knowing they exist.
Yes.
And that is Nikaido's friend. That apparently, as a
Yeah.
result of time magic,
Yep.
they're gone.
She lost a friend.
She lost a friend.
Now,
Now-
there's many ways in which that could be the case.
Yeah.
There's some obvious ones that need to be stated right off the bat. It tells us a little bit potentially about how her magic works, because if her magic is smoke, that means, in my opinion, that it could be used on herself or others. First thing, she uses it on herself, and then she becomes separated via time shenanigans from the
Okay.
person. It's not that they died necessarily; it's that she
can't
cannot
find
reach them.
Yeah, okay.
And even if she could find them, they wouldn't necessarily be her friend because they
Sure.
don't have the same memories because of the timeline.
Yeah.
Next way is she uses the magic on the friend.
And then
the friend
poof.
becomes separated. She never bumps into them again.
And
she
because it's-
retains the memory.
Right, and because it's traumatizing, she vows to never use it again, as opposed to, say, going on some journey to try and find them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The issue with both of these theories of it being used on herself or others is that it then lends the issue of there is a person, potentially her and another person, at least two people, that are out of place in time. I would say that it is more likely that the magic was used on the friend.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aikawa is the current person right now that has the most, like, obvious time muckery happening with him and is not necessarily having any direct connection to Nikaido right now. There could be some that we're unaware of,
But it's
but the
something,
way he vanished that way,
right,
that
it's
is-
a potential emotional punch connection point, because anytime you make characters connected, that's potential for them to feel pain.
Right.
And feeling pain for your characters, that is entertainment gold.
Right.
So
So I have a connection point that I feel like makes this all into a closed loop, and since
Yeah.
there is time stuff here, it fits with the whole transmutation and just general similarities of things repeating. Is that ultimately when she gave Kaiman his name, there is a possibility that the reason why he found it to be nostalgic is that Kaiman and Nikaido are the friends from another time. And this whole thing is it coming full
Okay.
circle to a loop.
sure.
To where
Yeah.
her current self right now doesn't have the memories of the friendship that she's
Right.
going to have with Kaiman.
Yeah, because one of the things that hasn't been explained in this show, well, I mean, that doesn't narrow it down much, but one of the things that hasn't been explained in this show that is kind of a big deal is that, okay, Kaiman has Risu's body, sure.
Right.
Memory loss, okay, that would definitely cause people to have some differences in personalities and things like that.
Yeah.
But from what we've seen of Risu, he is very different from Kaiman.
Yeah.
And I could totally see it. I'm not researched on the whole idea of amnesia and things like that, and how different a person can become if they have to relearn everything.
yeah.
But the idea that Kaiman would take on his own sense of self, at the very least, that seems like a mishap. Assuming that this is something that was engineered to happen, right?
I think on some part it was engineered to happen. It's just a question of whether it eventually went wrong.
I'm sure it did go wrong at some point. Who knows, right? The whole bit of the devil chasing Kaiman in the hallway, that could very easily be after it went wrong. And, maybe Satan himself shows up and is like, you messed with stuff that you weren't supposed to mess with. Time to, set this right.
Right. Now, here's the part that I feel like is a little bit potentially where they're moving things towards, is that Risu is inside Kaiman. That doesn't mean that he is actually using the same body necessarily. I just want to like kind of pull back, and since we have this whole idea now of there being this other person, Aikawa, that's involved in this whole thing, is that this could be that Risu's soul, his internal essence or what have you, is the thing inside the body. That's why it's in the mouth or what have you there. But the actual body is Aikawa's.
Okay, yeah, so maybe that's actually what happened, is that Aikawa is the one with all the skill and the physical acumen and things like that. Yeah. Maybe while the magic does flow through the veins and stuff, maybe it actually stems because of the tumor devil thing that's put inside them.
Right.
So then that gets put inside Aikawa, who turns into Kaiman. When thinking about Kaiman, they're not necessarily, I mean, they are thinking the lizard person or whatever, but they're more thinking of the person behind it, right? So maybe then that latches onto Risu, not onto Aikawa, right? And then when it comes to the magic, maybe the magic actually ends up stemming from the whatever soul data or something that could be contained within that mini devil tumor that's
which would be Risu's, probably.
Right, which also...
That's probably where the magic immunity comes from.
Where the magic immunity comes from, and it would also explain, if this is the case, how humans are able to make the transformation into devils.
Whoa,
because if they all have a little devil inside them...
all the sorcerers do.
Or all the sorcerers, right.
Right.
Then,
but only sorcerers are probably the ones that can make themselves into devils.
Right. But hey, if people... But there's also the potential possibility for people to become sorcerers, so... You know, like this...
It's all food, man! It all turns back into meat pies! That's what it is! We're all just a bunch of meat pies!
All a bunch of gyoza.
All just a bunch of mushrooms and...
Right, but that could explain how it works, right? Because then you're just feeding that little parasite thing inside them.
Yeah.
But then what that also means... is that we could get a past world-building explanation for how this all started in the first place.
Right. Well, it has to start with humans and devils
having some kind of
contact, you know, kind of thing and stuff like that.
And given that we're getting into the mechanics of how all that stuff could work with the parasitic tumor thing or whatever, that is going in the direction of potentially getting to the, I'll use this for the sake of the pun, the genesis of the situation.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Especially something that would be easy to do in the grander scheme of the story if the time magic thing continues to develop.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's a great way to have an excuse to give focus to it.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be a problem because, one, any of the beings that are desynchronized from time or moving through time could just have seen it at some point. Or even better, they could have been there for all we know.
Something I want to check at some point, doesn't necessarily have to be now.
Which episode?
It's in the episode where we get N's movie. Now,
I have actually a pretty good memory of that because I rewatched that episode, I think immediately after the reaction. Because we were done recording that day.
It doesn't necessarily need to have accurate information because we have already been told that some people say that it's not fully
it's
accurate,
dramatized.
Right? It's dramatized.
He's also trying to build his brand.
Definitely. So. But the identity of the person who attacked N's establishment, is it possible, because that person also seemed to have time magic, is it possible that's also Aikawa? Because now that we've got a closer look at Aikawa, right, with the sideburns and everything, is there something where we actually see when N goes through the story, right, and there was someone there and all I saw was them going into the door. Now, I believe in that story, they were also drenched and covered in blood.
Yes,
so
they were.
That is another way to obscure the face.
Yes.
But I also want to bring up that the whole notion of this happening in the second to last episode of the season, now it could just be innocuous, it could be nothing, right? Let's give N some backstory. But it could potentially...
It was headless being.
No, it was a headless being. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. So...
Right.
Oh, yeah, and a knife against his throat. Yeah. The person using knives... This is a being... This show!
This is a being that
actually looks like Risu's head there.
Yeah, it looks way more like Risu. Hey, that could be the thing, is that this is already the Aikawa Risu combo.
Maybe, yeah.
That this is Risu's head, but Aikawa's body. But yeah, this was very much the. But they actually go really close into showing the head and body and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and that's
Yeah, that's the thing. This is totally Risu Kaiman, like
right.
something here.
Although the hair looks the color being different could just be the darkness.
It's
or
the darkness, I
or
would
the
say.
blood, or all that. Yeah.
But there's the cross eyes very clearly.
I don't know. Oh man, yeah. This is but because what I'm looking for here is that especially now that we have the whole situation with Nikaido where she can't see N again, otherwise he'll take control of her again. What I want to see is what is the way in which the two groups unite, right? Because fan fiction-y, I just want that to happen.
Right,
but,
of course.
But two, if we keep escalating the stakes and the antagonists and things like that, that just seems like it'll naturally happen, right?
Right.
Even if it's all sorts of complicated and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So if the antagonistic figure is the same, and they're the common enemy, that's a great way to do it. This show.
Yeah. The one thing that I was thinking of that might be a possibility as to where Nikaido being kind of why is she an important character beyond I have the MacGuffin power.
Oh,
I have not the MacGuffin, that's a bad way to say it.
Right, I'm the magical girl.
I have
Yeah.
the magical girl power, right? But the fact that she has this close relationship with Kaiman, meaning that it is something that is developed because one, she needed someone like Kaiman.
Yep, they both did, yeah.
Well, right. But let me take just Nikaido's perspective here. Over the course of this, she saves this guy, right?
Right.
The whole instance as to how she saved him and all that basically leaves a couple things kind of shrouded as to what are the specific details of some of that stuff there, which kind of made me initially really sus of her in that she's not telling us everything. But when we get this emotional reason as to why it's so important that they be friends, it's because she's already lost one. And the fact that this whole sequence of events led to someone who's kind of in the perfect position where they almost in a weird way have to be her friend. Now, this is just a weird way to say it, but it's almost like that desperation of just like, I need someone. I need anyone. And the fact that this crazy guy shows up with his head, off and
Not
all
N,
that.
not N, anyone, no.
Yeah. Point being is that when I see her in this episode having this moment of like, I don't care who you are. I don't care about any of that. Like, we're definitely going to be friends. I feel like it's this thing of where, why would she ever turn this down? Like, why would she, like, if this is her, like, emotional core of her character, which I very much believe it is, then there's no reason as to why she would ever, like, ruin this in any way. Like, she would do everything to protect this, right?
Right.
And yet, the fact that they went this long, where she was kind of willingly
without talking about it,
kind of willingly taking advantage of the fact that she has this friend here who's kind of beholden to her, and she's doing everything that she can to kind of make him like, hey, everything's good, right? Yeah. I feel like it's something where we still have more to potentially learn from her as we go into this like next stage of the story.
Oh, definitely.
Because they're in this like, okay, thick or thin, pinky promise.
Well,
and then I just want Nikaido to have this thing of like, okay, here's how I lost my friend actually.
Sure.
And then gets into that.
There is still a ton that we don't know about Nikaido in the same way that there's still a ton that we don't know about Kaiman. That is Dorohedoro, right? We still don't know the details of the connection between her and Asu, right? The whole point of Asu saving her and looking out for her and all that stuff, it was fantastic. When he brought up the whole thing about, I don't think I can avoid, like, I have to go to Chidoruma, it's like, is this as a result of him violating the contract by pulling it out? Or did that twist some element of his devilish nature where now he has to go to his superior? Like, I don't know, but like there's definitely a story there, because even if we know why she's not using time magic anymore, we don't know their history. Like,
in some ways, this was one of the things that I wanted to bring up this when we're waiting to bring up Asu in general. Asu seems like, in a weird way, he actually could be her friend, and that he became a demon, and that was the way that she lost him. It's not that he's necessarily like not her friend, because in some ways, Asu does seem to be like Nikaido's only friend really right now.
Crackpot theory.
Yeah.
Theory. Doesn't have to be this, but just a way that it could have happened. What if?
When did he get introduced?
It was when Nikaido was prepping to go to En's place, and she needed
she was
to
separated.
And she went to and she had to go to the magic shop or whatever or something like that, or it was around there. But imagine Nikaido's friend is working to become a devil in the same way that Noi was.
Yep. Cool.
At some point, something happens, and Nikaido is like, "Oh, I need to use my time magic on you or whatever in order to like help you or something like that."
Oh, okay.
And it basically finishes the process, turns him into a full demon, and now all of a sudden, he's gone. I maybe helped him out, but now the only times I get to see him is when I pay a big premium to be able to request an audience, or whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows?
The first thing that they say is she kneels and kisses his hand, and he says, "To be able to see you again."
Yeah.
And then they skip a little bit of time, and he's like, "Oh, I see." But unfortunately,
Basically,
I don't know who cast the magic on your friend either.
Right. So she filled him in on the details, but they also got that chance to catch up.
They got that chance to catch up, which does feel a little bit like you're
have
an
a lot
old
to talk
friend,
about, yeah.
Meaning that there's some things that are more relevant to us that we share, but the audience doesn't necessarily need to know about any of that. And it's I thought that you'd know, if anyone. Then do you know the man called Risu? It's like, I do know him. Risu is currently at En's place.
Yeah.
By the way, who are the guys that have cross marks in their eyes? The cross eyes are a group of people who can barely use any magic. Seems like they're doing all kinds of things in the shadows. What a foolish lot. So, Asu is, if anything, always been this kind of helper for Nikaido, just kind of in the know in general with a lot of things. But in a weird way, this does feel like another version of what Aikawa was to Risu, but instead it's a demon that's kind of on Nikaido's side doing the hey, I'm just generally helping you as much as I can. But the fact that they hadn't seen each other in so long, yet Asu is a demon, so couldn't he have just, I don't know, gone and seen her at some point?
Different people in different worlds now.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if she was in Hull. Hull might react weirdly if demons show up. But it's also something where potentially this is the example of the relationship with Kaiman that went wrong. Right?
Oh, possibly.
That alternate version of things, right? Now, not to harp on pointless details, but, he does have that big build, and this is something where it's at the very least, their backstory is something that is painful.
Another person with a mask, too.
Another person with a mask. Yeah.
Yep.
And it even has that focus on the snout part of it, which I'm just going to say. But then also, on top of that, no, wait, hold on, no way.
What?
Wait, no, crackpot theory. What if that was Kaiman? What if that was other timeline Kaiman or something?
Just from the future?
Yeah, or something, and he turned into a demon.
I think that's...
okay, but crazy stuff aside, and them both not, the past is something that's sort of a touchy subject, right? Even though it involved the both of them. And then with Kaiman and Nikaido, it's something where, yes, it could have gotten resolved much sooner if they had both been honest with each other, right?
Right.
The point where Kaiman actually found out she was a sorcerer was very early on. But because of that's uncomfortable,
he rejects
I don't know about that, right? He doesn't actually bring it up, right? He doesn't bring it to the surface so it can be dealt with. Now, thankfully, we're in a good part of the timeline where they have talked about it and they've made that pinky promise, that will transcend time, goddammit. But
you want to see something funny?
What?
So you had just that little thing of crackpot theory, but the first time where we see
them both sitting down against the flat concrete wall,
it feels like an inverted version
it does.
of the whole thing at the end of this episode here.
In
episode 12.
Holding this loosely and everything. But yeah.
I just
I don't know. This show is crazy. I need I need that second season.
Yeah, I need it too. I love these types of mysteries in general because they're a rabbit hole. You can just go endlessly
going.
deep into it
And
to
it
where you're
can
completely lost.
Wind off and branch out, and you have no idea where it's going to go.
You have no idea where you're going.
Right,
The
exactly.
mystery could be headed in a completely different direction.
Yep.
But you get to explore this because the show leaves enough things open with legitimate, like, little, like, either red herrings or just whatever.
Things that
just
drive
to
you crazy.
Give you the desire to keep, exploring.
Much like the little devil tumors, they're parasites that work their way into your brain and drive you crazy.
Oh my god.
But
Okay. But Shin and Noi are going to be taking the crew back to Hull.
I love that. The idea that it's like, hey, we've been keeping you under wraps. We've been giving you a place to stay. You've been sneaking out. Well, yeah, I always come back, but I want to see what's out there. It's like,
Right.
okay, we may be eating good food right now and stuff, but this needs to end. So yeah. Also, that's a great connection point potentially for the two groups, especially if they stop being enemies. If Kaiman and Nikaido stop being enemies with N, then theoretically, Shin doesn't have any reason to not be friends with the doctors.
Possibly, yeah.
And then mutual friends. Next thing you know, they're going to baseball games together. You know?
Yeah, very, very possible. Yeah.
So
I gotta say the thing that immediately kind of made me think about something that was just a little bit, I don't know, not a little bit off, but a little bit odd, is this idea that slowly but surely we seem to be moving closer and closer towards who the boss is of the Cross Eyes, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a thing of like, okay, what kind of stuff is going on really with the Cross Eyes, and if they're doing things in the shadows and maneuvering things in a specific way, they have at least some keys to the mystery in general. But we've brought up a lot about how everything that seems to be going on with Kaiman is either some kind of crazy scheme or just a Dorohedoro style crazy set of convenient kind of like a cacophony of
chaos.
Things. Perfect chaos, exactly. While it might have maybe started with something that was planned.
No plan survives contact with the enemy. Yeah.
Right. Things have gotten weird, and Kaiman exists, but like every time they've done things that seem to be hinting towards the idea of the Cross Eyes and where they started there, the fact that Risu is actually presently, where the show ends, its first season, in this Berith town.
Yeah.
Where
Kaiman's also going to.
Not
showing.
Where the boss theoretically just could be. That whole bit in the phone call thing of don't go, what was it? Like, don't go to where I am. Like,
oh,
what was it?
Yeah.
Don't come to my house.
Right.
Do you understand? That is there. And then they show basically the eyebrow that's very much not a Risu eyebrow. It's potentially
it's dark brown.
Aikawa kind of look there.
Well, so there are a few things that this made me think of. The don't come to my house, that is there, makes me think of the apartment where the head was, right?
Well, that's a different place. Right? Are you talking about where they find Risu's place?
Yeah. That depends on who's talking.
Oh,
that depends on who's talking. Like, based on who's talking, it could be, who knows, right?
Gotcha.
But then the other thing that also, and this is probably much less likely. Well, no, with the don't come to my house, that is there. That's a warning, not a, like a friendly warning, not a,
I'm giving you
stay out of my business.
Right, it's I'm giving you the reason why you shouldn't come there.
Right.
But I'm not telling you what that means.
Yeah. Because the fact that was done in parallel with the whole floating maybe demon with the nails and stuff coming up behind it, like that, I don't know. That it achieved a sufficient narrative impact on me with all the heebie-jeebies and everything. So
yes, definitely. The place though that they go to find, or are they following Risu though? That does not look like the town of Berith necessarily. Like, it looks like just a hodgepodge place, just in general.
I don't know if in the phone call it was necessarily referring to Berith.
Yes.
Oh, it was?
I'm saying I agree
Oh,
with
okay.
you. I agree with you.
Gotcha.
I just wanted to make sure that you weren't equating the two necessarily. Because we don't know necessarily where he was directly referring to. But this seems to be Risu just having died, quote unquote.
Oh, also something that I just want to bring up since it's the last episode of the show that's thematic similarities and whatnot. We get introduced to this show. We've got Hole. And it's got these godlike beings called sorcerers that come down there and muck shit up.
Yep.
Then we go up to the place with the sorcerers.
Oh.
And we've got these godlike beings called devils that rule over it and muck shit up.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we in like the different circles of hell or something? Like is this just going to be like turtles all the way up? Or are we going to get to the point where we keep going up the layers and get crazier and weirder shit as we go? And then eventually it's going to be the demon lord Satan, and then he's going to be like, but there's a layer even further up, actually. Will you help me go up there? Because they're...
Thankfully, it's all through doors, so at the very least, not directly.
So are you saying that
kind
at
of
some
comparison
point
like
we
that.
might be knocking on heaven's door?
Okay, I'll grant you that. That one was.
I'm just saying,
good.
I don't know with this show.
Yeah, that kind of stuff could be possible.
It could.
And we did have a Hail Satan kind of moment.
We
in
did.
the
We
episode,
did.
So
So the
everything
similarities
is on the
are-
table.
yeah.
But y'all, thank you so much for sticking around throughout this
Yes.
show's reactions, discussions, the craziness therein. This very much scratches a particular itch for me and Jacob with regards to the mystery elements, and then of course the
Wonderful
wild
banter
fantasy
and just romp.
yes, hilarious humor and all that. It's so much fun, and
Yep.
I need shows like this to continue to be made because while it's insane, it's absolutely bonkers. It does all kinds of crazy, wacky stuff. The characters in it are just so dang fun to follow.
Yep, they are very endearing.
Very
Yeah.
endearing.
But even though we're done with like the show, this
Yes.
isn't quite the end.
Of our reactions for Dorohedoro.
Right,
Yes.
because
while we hope that there's a second season.
Yes. There's also something that apparently we're going to be doing after this.
Yes, so there is a collection apparently of mini stories or mini bits of just general world building stuff that's not truly an OVA, but they're like 4 or 6 like individual little mini things that we've got now crammed into a collection of sorts, and we'll be reacting to all of them at once next week.
Gotcha.
So, guys, we're not done with the show entirely,
Right.
but we're probably done with the general plot for now. But thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see that next little bit reaction discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. All of this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Yes, we stream every weekday. Yeah, info's in the description.
Yes, if ain't that interesting, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time.